All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cricket for Americans. And oh my goodness, do we have a good one for you today as Chris Jordan gets ready to get locked and loaded. 32 already waiting in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me today. Join me this morning for a match that was turning out to be a laugher that has gotten a little more interesting. And there's a wicket. Just as I say it. Just as I say it, Ron Weasley gets the wicket. Chris Jordan, the depth specialist, gets Aaron Finch. Just as I'm about to say it, it just got more interesting. They got 35 runs in the last 2 overs. There goes that right there. Chris Jordan. Woo! Did you see that? Varun says Jordan, best bowler. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, Nikhil, you know I'm getting to that. I haven't even got my headphones on yet. You know I'm getting to that. Oh, my goodness gracious. I was just about to throw some love for Australia. I was just about to do it. And just as I come on, the power of Nick resumes itself. Bye, Finchy. Bye. Oh, you've been making your own fun, BALGB? That's what I like to hear. I missed some more exciting games, Sri Lanka, South Africa. I was sleeping, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get some sleep for crying out loud. I got to get some sleep. So now you got Cummins. Well, he's got 2 sixes? He's got 12 runs on 2 balls. He had 2 sixes. Earlier is what I'm saying. Earlier. Here comes Chris Jordan. Oh, he got him. He got him on that one. It's a Yorker, baby. Oh, man. Look at the face on Chris Jordan. Oh, he just scared me. Hide the children. Get him in the rooms or something. Chris Jordan just had that look like, how dare you doubt me? What is happening, everyone? Good morning. I am coming on to the sweet sound of the wickets, baby. The England wickets. Oh, wow, what a ball that was. Woo! Gabe's not coming on. Gabe is at the happiest place on earth, ladies and gentlemen. Thankfully, he's not here because this isn't the happiest place on earth. And don't spoil it for me in the chat. Please don't do it. Just don't do it because we're on a hat trick ball, baby. I come in to 2 straight wickets. 2 straight wickets here in the 19th over. Chris Jordan, baby. Oh, Chris Jordan is a man amongst boys. I was going to go off about my man Chris Wilkes with his 2-wicket haul against Australia. And then Chris Jordan gets his 3rd wicket. We're on a hot hat trick ball. I have never seen a hat trick, whether on the stream or on my own, watching it live. I've seen replays of it, but I've never seen it live. Oh, it's a hat trick ball. I don't want to get spoiled. I'm not looking. Zampa. Oh, Zampa. And there's no hat trick. What else is new? Hasaranga got a hat trick? Of course he did. Thanks for sharing that, Shatil. Oh, Gabe's the happiest place on earth. Right now, for me, this is the happiest place on earth. My second team, England. Woo! At one point, they were like 55 for 6 going into the death, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was like the 14th over. And then all of a sudden, Australia decided to put on 35. I almost said 35 pounds. 35 runs in 2 overs, but then the depth specialist, Chris Jordan. He says, forget about Michael. My name's Chris, and I got game. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Oh, there's a single right there. They're not going to stretch it for 2. Not on Moeen Ali. Come on. Can he throw it? I'm not really sure. He threw it pretty good. He threw it pretty good there. Yeah, he got a hat trick today versus South Africa. What's up, Renell? What is happening? My good friend. I'm streaming the rest of the match, Miniteum. I wanted to get a little bit of extra sleep this morning. It is 8:33 my time. But I'm here for the rest of the time, and hopefully I'll have some guests. I don't know if Jehan's on there yet. Dr. Jehan, if you are, I sent you the link. Please go ahead and join. I don't know if Asjad's there. If you are, I sent you the link. Go ahead and join. But man alive. Good morning, Don Antonio. Good morning, Shatil, Jay, Miniteum, Turning Point, Ball GB. Roland, what's up, buddy? Ace of Musics, nice to see you there. Belina. Han Solo. Oh, Han Solo. Oh, man. The happiest place on earth for Gabe is at John Campbell's house on Thanksgiving. Oh, he loves himself some John Campbell. Ferris 107. FTBL Edits, baby. 71. What's up? Yeah, Camphor got 4-4. Didn't work out too good for Ireland after that, but he was a monster. Is that a dot or do they take a single? Oh, Chris Jordan, you beauty. Chris Jordan, what an over. He slammed the door on those guys that just brutalized the previous bowlers. Just absolutely brutalized the previous overs. What is happening? Old man Nick is at it again. Old man Nick. They brutalized my man Chris Wokes. How can you do that to Chris Wokes, Aaron Finch, and Agar? How are you going to do that to them and Tamil Mills? Oh, well, they got theirs. What's up, Garav? What's up, GT? What's up, Nikhil? What's up, Arca? What's up, the doctor? Damien. AKR. How is everyone doing today? So glad to see you. How are you going to do that to my man, Chris Wokes? He was bowling like a monster, and you're going to put 20 on him. Isn't that crazy? Am I reading this right? He gave up 20 runs in the 17th over, but he has 23 total that he's given up? He only gave up 3 runs in the previous 3 overs? Oh, Chris Wokes. You know, too bad. There's a boundary right there for Mitchell Stock. Oh, Chris Wokes. Too bad you can't bowl anywhere but England, right? You can't bowl anywhere but England. Getting yourself 2 wickets, and not just 2 wickets, but you're getting yourself David Warner. David Warner's wicket. David Warner went off for 63 last time, or 62, or whatever it was. And he got him out after 1 run on an edge. And then he got LBW on Maxwell. Oh, those are some big wickets. There's a single right there off Tamil Mills. Tamil Mills has been he's been very expensive today. No one performs for Punjab Kings. What are you talking about? Was Chris Wokes play for the Kings at one point? Last time I saw, he played for DC. He got wickets, and they said, oh, no. We can't have that. We can't have that here. We can't have you getting wickets anywhere else. We got to keep the narrative that you can't get any wickets anywhere from England because we don't want you to bowl because you're so dangerous. My man gave up 3 runs and 3 overs and 2 wickets. Woo! Nasty. Chris Jordan. Gotcha. Yeah, Chris Jordan. But Chris Jordan, even for the Kings, was a death specialist. They just didn't use him that much. They listened to Gabe too much. Mills wants 6s. So those 2 big overs for Australia gave them a little bit of life, but they're still going to lose this game. Where's the Australia fans at? Do you guys think you have any chance of defending whatever score you're going to get? Huh? They got 119. They got 3 balls left. I mean, obviously there's a chance, but and we saw what England did against the West Indies, right? 55 for 4 wickets. But now when you got Captain England right there, he can give you a half century in his sleep. He gave up 16 in the last over because 4 were not counted. Okay, so he had 7 that he had given before. Thank you, Varun. Oh, that was an ugly shot. Oh, he's going to go for it? Bye! What was that? You don't got to review it. He's out. What was that? Why did you run on that? What is Australia doing? Adam Zampa? Don't go to the Moeen Ali school for running. What was that? Oh, man. He loves himself some Moeen Ali. He wants to be Moeen Ali when he grows up. You're done, dude. Bye. I don't even know why the umpire decided to look at the review. That's an obvious one. Out. What happened there? You're like 3 inches away. Bye. Man alive. Number 88, Zampa. Why don't you stick to bowling, friend? Running is not your thing. It's not my thing either. It's okay. We can do other things. Nick, it's 3 a.m. in Australia. I don't think any fan is... It's 3 a.m. in Australia? Oh, man. Sorry about that, Australia. But, hey, at least you're sleeping nicely right now and not watching this debacle. Australia was undefeated in this tournament, 2-0. Played against what I think is one of the 2 best teams in the tournament, the way they're playing right now. And that is a 6. That's a 6 by Stark. Oh, man. He's not going quietly into that good night. A 6. Wow. Can he get a 6 on the last ball to make it a little more interesting? Because, again, we've seen England with a little mini collapse batting-wise. A mini collapse. I thought going into this, their batting was stronger than their bowling, but I'm just getting those West Indy vibes, right? Sorry, West Indy fans, not trying to bring it up in a rude way. I'm just saying. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Yes, I watched a lot of the Afghanistan-Pakistan match. Saeed, I was on Asjad's channel yesterday. I joined him for the second innings. Go ahead and watch the replay of that. Go ahead and watch the replay of that. We have the last ball right here. Is he going to get another 6? Is he going to get him to the 130s? No, it's a... Is that a wicket? He got the wicket on the last ball. He got the edge. All out. 125 all out. Tamil Mills is on my squad, baby. He got another wicket. A wicket on the last one. Asjad's channel's name is Cricket for Us 2.0. I can't do my numbers right now. Cricket for Us, the number 4, 2.0. Saw that match yesterday. All right, so the first innings is over with. Australia, at one point, they were sunk in the 50s going into the death. They were able to muster 35 runs. I don't think it's going to be enough. Who thinks this will be enough? 125. Who thinks that Australia will defend? If Australia defends this, then, man, that bodes well for them in the tournament, because then they're 3-0 and England is 2-1. Right? Australia needs to defend this. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. What do you think is going to happen in this match? When you got yourself Livingstone, who still has not really proved himself, but I think he got a wicket today or something like that. Arjit says he can join me. Awesome. When you got a Captain England there and number 8 or 9 can still get you 50. Right? I'm sorry, Jordan Mills. I don't really have, or Rashid, I don't really have too much faith in you. You got Butler opening. You got Ron Weasley in there. Right? You got Jason Roy. Oh, the name Jason Roy. Jehan, come join. I see you in the chat. You are up bright and early, my friend. Dr. Jehan, I sent you the link through email, my friend. Come and join. We can get Arjun in here. We'll have a party. I need to see some Australia misery. Oh, Chris Wokes is on the mic. The man can't bowl. He can't bowl anywhere outside of England. He can't bowl anywhere outside England. It's impossible. It's his kryptonite. He's garbage outside of England. Give me a break. I never believed that garbage. And look what my man's doing. Look what my man is doing. Never believe the doubters. Nick, take a break. I just got on. We're 16 minutes in. It's Captain England. How dare you? I know, he didn't thank me. His biggest supporter. Absolutely, Varun. Wokes is such a, I don't know what that word means, honestly. Shh, Nick. People can't handle the Wokes. They can't handle the Wokes love. RJ, I sent you the link. They can't handle the Wokes love. I was on Asjad's channel yesterday. He brings on his beautiful daughter for like a few seconds. I start chanting, Chris Wokes, Chris Wokes. No joke. Instant smile came on her face. Instant smile. They said she hasn't smiled in weeks. They said they were worried about the non-smiling. Okay, that part's not right. That part's not true. But she smiled as soon as I said, Chris Wokes, go check it out on his channel. I'm going to post a quick little clip of it here later on. He's the best Chris out there. Oh, Chris Jordan was looking pretty good. Oh, he was looking pretty good. Masterpiece of the year. So far, this World Cup has been the perfect remedy for the summer game. Absolutely. You knew it wasn't going to last for too long. You knew it. Oh, I'm seeing the beard right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm seeing the glorious beard. I'm going to let RJ come in once I see the rest. Oh, there's the rest of the face. All right, we got a guest in here. What's up, RJ?
I'm good. How are you?
You know I'm doing good right now, my friend. I slept in a little bit, which always makes me happy. Got a busy day today. And I wake up to seeing Chris Wokes wickets and then Chris Jordan wickets. I'm doing fantastic. What's up, Biggs? How are you doing?
I'm good. When I saw the Chris Wokes over, I know that you have a very good morning when you woke up.
Am I the only Chris Wokes fan? I don't know. I might be.
He's such an underrated star. Like he's like Rahul Dravid. Like nobody really talks about him, but he performs like almost every time.
Every time. Exactly. Yeah. Everyone's saying hello to you, RJ. I'm not sure if you can see the comments on your screen.
Yes, I can. I'm opened the window on my laptop this time. So I'm on the chat on my phone, and I've opened my laptop.
Oh, you're on your phone. Okay. No worries. So if anyone does not know, this is Arjit. Arjit has been a subscriber, a viewer, a friend of both channels since almost the very, very beginning. All right. So if anyone's new and you don't know Arjit, this guy is the original. He might have been our first subscriber, ladies and gentlemen. He might have been. Who knows? And he is also in the chat. He says hello. So what do you think? Does Australia have any chance of defending this?
I really don't think so. It's been a really below par score. They have lost the toss, so they had to put up a really good score to defend this one. I think Duke could come in the later stages, so it would be really difficult for Australia to contain this. I think England should get this total by the 16th or 17th of that match.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I was saying yesterday, because Gabe, he's in California right now. He's at Disneyland, all that kind of stuff. I had told him, because he said that Australia has no chance. Spoiler alert. He said Australia has no chance against England. And I said, well, they do, because David Warner is now playing in one match well, at least. He was in good form for a second. And then you had Aaron Finch that played pretty well. If you have those two guys, and then you got Maxey later on, if you have those two guys that open decently for you, you definitely have a chance. And what happened today? David Warner down for one, right? And Finch lasted till like, what was it, the 19th over, but he had a low strike rate. So, I mean, David Warner, as far as the batting side goes, he's so detrimental to this team. And look at what happened.
I think David Warner really got surprised by the bounce from the pitch in the very, the second over. He didn't really expect it that much because he was coming onto the pitch and it was a great ball, and suddenly like the bowling looked like almost on the test match level kind of a bowling and not T20. Especially, you would not expect this kind of bounce and this kind of pace in the on UAE pitches. But I think this, as the commentators were also telling, that this pitch has much more grass than the earlier pitches, so this could be the reason. Let's see if Australia can take any advantage from the grass. If they can pull off some magic, get 2-3 wickets up front in the first 3 or 4 overs, then this could get excited. Match could get excited. But other than that, I don't really see England, struggling more to get this total.
Yeah, I mean, conventional wisdom would suggest that they would not struggle to get the total at all. But crazier things have happened. I'm not going to sit here and say 100% chance. Like you said, if Australia gets some wickets in the power play, especially 1 or 2, that could bode very well for them. What do you think? I want to know. You've been a cricket fan for your whole life, right?
Yeah.
All right. So talk to me about Owen Morgan, because I don't understand this guy. I don't understand him at all, and he speaks English. Tell me about Owen Morgan. What is going on with this guy?
I think there's a lot of responsibility on the guy. He was captaining KKR, then he's captain England for a long time. I think he's got a lot on his plate, and also he might be the age is catching up with it. That happens. He's not in the form, and when you are captain and when you're out of form, you don't really have that much time to think about your batting because there's already so much going on in your head. So that might be a reason he needs to get one good innings and get a little bit of luck. Then he will be in form because he's a very good batsman. I do believe that, but he just needs a little bit of luck to get that confidence back in his batting.
Thank you for that. We got another guest here. Dr. Jehan is in the house. He's going to join us. We got a triple screen going on. Dr. Jehan, what time is it over there right now?
It's just coming up to midnight. I'm in Perth, so we're 3 hours behind the rest of Australia.
Don't tell me that you have work in the morning.
I do, actually, yes.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to stay up and watch this game and then get a few hours sleep and go to work. But I only have a half day tomorrow, so I can catch up with some sleep after that.
What constitutes as a half day? Is that still 9 hours or something?
7 till 2:30.
Jeez, that's like a full day for the rest of the world, for crying out loud. I appreciate you coming on, especially since it's so late over there. You're more committed than I am. I want to know. No trolling involved whatsoever. I want to know your thoughts right now about this match.
I think England are going to win, and probably quite fairly easily as well. 125 is just, it's not big enough of a score. And Australia just got completely bogged down in the power play. I think they lost the game in the first 5 overs, to be honest. And they lost 3 wickets straight away. And I think Warner got out first ball as well. So yeah, not really a great start. And they never really picked up any momentum after that. Maybe a little bit towards the end when Cummins and Stark hit a few sixes, but apart from that, there wasn't really much. What are your thoughts?
Well, honestly, I woke up 30 minutes ago. Before I get to my thoughts, turning point right here. He says, Jehan, hello, darkness, my old friend. That's a pretty good pun for more than one reason. I don't think that Australia's going to be able to defend. But again, like I said earlier, they struggled to chase 55 against West Indies, for crying out loud. I say struggle. They were able to chase, but they lost 4 wickets. And you got Stark, you got Cummins. Now, the last match, I believe it was, the bowling wasn't as impressive for Australia. It was the batting that really got them the win. The bowling was able to get what they needed to at the right time. But this is I know it's not Test, but this is the mini Ashes right here. This is a preview. Some of these guys are going to be there for the Ashes. Not all of them, obviously. They don't all play for the Test team. I don't think Australia's going to be able to defend it. I think England's got too much firepower, and I don't think England has batted their best yet in this tournament. And they don't need to bat their best. They just need to bat well enough. You got Jason Roy, the worst guy in the field out there, right? You got Bairstow way better than Jason Roy. Everyone knows how I feel about him. But he got 60 last time. So if he's in good form, sorry, Australia.
Well, they need to get early wickets. If they can get wickets in this power play,
yeah.
And when I say wickets, I mean at least 2 or 3, probably 3. Then they may have a tiny chance. But if England come out of this power play without losing too many wickets, I think it's their game.
Arjit, is that dog number 2 or dog number 3?
It is, I guess, dog number 8 actually, because 3 days back my dog given birth to 8 puppies.
Oh my gosh!
So the whole house is a mess, and we haven't slept for like 2 days because we are taking care of the babies. We are new to this, so we don't really exactly know what to do and what not to do. I'll show you. This one is my favorite. So she is just 3 days old.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got like 8 puppies and 2 big dogs in our house. Right.
So I'm guessing the 2 adult dogs are one's male, one's female.
Yes. Yeah.
So were you guys aren't breeding puppies, right? Like it was just kind of like an accident, or are you trying to get the puppies so you can make other people happy with some animals?
We really didn't thought about it, but when it happened, the doctor told us that we can get it aborted. But we chose we wanted to experience it, how this is gonna happen and stuff like that. So now we have to take care of them for like 2 more months because they need their mother's milk for the next couple of months, and then we are gonna think about like what we gonna do. Whether we gonna give them for adoption, or let's see.
There's a boundary for Butler.
That's boundary off the 5th ball of the innings. I think Australia hit 1 boundary in their first 4 overs or something.
You sound like I did when India was playing Pakistan. Oh, it was rough.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they played in the last couple of games, I thought they were, building up some momentum, but just didn't bat that well today.
But if I can talk a little bit positively here, they have 2 wins already out of their 5 matches here in the Super 12 stage.
Yeah,
they're probably going to lose this match. If they win the other 2 matches, they're going to go to the semis. Convention would assume that much. So they're going to more than likely face this team again if they get to that stage. So if you're going to play England twice, you'd rather lose against them the first time and not in the knockout stage, right? So there's a little bit of positivity for you.
That's true. And how this match started, the first 5-6 overs, actually reminded me of the 2019 World Cup semi-final. It was very similar. Australia lost a lot of quick wickets early on, and then the game was sort of over from then. That was a semi-final, and Australia actually beat England in the group game earlier on in the tournament. But when it came to the knockouts, England beat them in that semi-final. So, yeah. Maybe if they get to play England again, they'll beat them.
When was the last time Australia's won a World Cup?
2015.
2015, they won the World Cup at home. That was the year I moved to Australia, actually. Went to the final.
Was that ODI or T20?
ODI.
And they won it at home? That's pretty cool.
They won it at home, yeah.
And Mitchell Starc was a big reason for that World Cup win. He was, he looked invincible in that. His Yorkers were unplayable in the World Cup.
Well, when I look at Australia's white ball team, they pretty much dominated ODI cricket probably from 1999 to 2015. They're consistently the number 1 side in the world in that period of time. And similarly, England were pretty terrible in the same period, and they just couldn't play. They were terrible at one-day cricket, but they weren't great at T20 either. and they were humiliated in the 2015 World Cup. I think they got knocked at the game they got knocked out against New Zealand. They got bowled out for 100, and New Zealand chased it down in 8 overs.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
8 overs.
Yeah. So Brendan McCullum went completely nuts. But basically, after that, the England management got together and they said, "Okay, we need to do something about our white ball game." And they started injecting all these power hitters into the team, and started producing really flat tracks in England for the ODIs and T20s, and they've never really looked back since then.
Wow. So Han Solo has the how the semis works. I'm assuming this is correct. He says in the semis, it's the winner of Group A versus the second in Group B, and the winner of Group B versus the second in Group A. So you have A versus B, B versus A, and then the winners of that. So you could potentially have in the finals 2 from the same group. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's the way it's looking. So
then you got Gabe in the chat. They are who we thought they were. He's talking about Australia. Oh, he's already crying. He's in the happiest place on earth, and he's already crying. I love it. I just made my day. You know, Dr. Jehan, the real question is this.
What's that?
You basically support the teams that Gabe supports, all right? And I obviously go against Gabe every time. So the question is, how much do you hate yourself some Nick? I mean, how much? How high is the hate meter right there?
For who?
For me, because I'm always going against your squads.
I was pretty happy when Pakistan beat India that day.
Oh man, it's Christmas already? You were probably more happier for that than you were when Australia won their first match.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably, exactly. I love it. Oh, Arjit's got 10 dogs, right? You got 10 dogs right now?
Yeah, I do.
What do you do with yourself, my friend?
I don't know. It was a very strange experience. We really didn't thought like what we're gonna do after they come to existence.
Some great fielding here. This is some world-class cricket. And Gabe's not even here to mush it. I love it. Yeah, Butler was 7, 5. They're just messing around right now, but they're still getting 12 in the first 2 overs. Wow.
And Nick, it was your guy that did the damage today. Captain England.
What else is new? I've been saying this guy's name for how long? And everyone thinks I'm crazy. They use the word aberration every single time. I think they know what that word means. They use that every single time. Anomaly, if that's an easier word for most of our audience here. But the guy does it every single time, for crying out loud. Every single time. He was in the top 3 in wickets in the IPL, and they decided, oh, hold on. Hold on with your bad stuff. We can't have you in the top 3. That's not the way the universe works. So they pulled him out. This is what this guy does every day. I love it.
Yeah, I have to admit, I've never really rated Chris Wokes. Because he's not that quick. He doesn't have pace. Doesn't do a huge amount with the ball. He's one of those guys that you think of your typical English seamer, where in England when the ball's swinging around and seeming a bit sort of perfect for those conditions. But if he's to play away from England, then he may not be as effective. But having said that, he's proven that he has been effective away from England at times.
And look I appreciate that. Shatil, he'll get smashed in the knockout games. There's always got to be the hate, right? There's always got to be the hate. Let's say he gets wickets in every single match he bowls. And then let's say he has like a no-wicket haul for 42 in the knockout. Then all the hate's going to come, and they're all going to say, I told you, he's not allowed to have one bad day. But you know what? Honestly, if you ask him, I don't think he even cares. I really don't.
No, but I think in the knockout
guy.
Stages, he's going to elevate his game because, he seems to be that kind of player who wants to win. And, the thing is what happens like in the knockout gauges, the big players usually fail and the underdogs usually perform. Like you see Glenn Maxwell scored 50s in the stage matches all around. When it comes for the knockout matches for RCB, he got out cheaply. So that's what I've seen in so far. That's a no ball.
Oh, no, no ball.
Oh my gosh, no ball. Man. They're trying to make Jehan cry on air.
I think they're trying to lose this game as quickly as possible, probably. Yeah, that isn't
Trying to lose this game. They want to rest up for the next few matches. They're like, oh, this one's in the books. Let's stay limber. We're going to start doing it underhanded pretty soon.
They should beat Bangladesh and the West Indies, which means that they'll be number 2 in the group. They'll end up number 2 at the end of the group stage.
Sorry, Don Antonio. I can't believe I missed that joke. It's a free hit. Good thing Moeen Ali's not out there. You give Australia a real chance.
Oh.
That might be Australia's strategy. When Moeen Ali comes to strike, they may say throw a no ball every time. It's the best chance we have. Oh man, Moeen Ali hates me.
Oh, I thought that was
wow. Wow. That was anticlimactic.
Yeah, I wasn't over his points.
I've got a question for Dr. Jehan. What do you think if Australia get knocked out from the World Cup? Is Finch is going to lose his captaincy or not?
Probably not. I think because he's got a few scores. Because I don't see who else would take over from him.
Well, Cummins, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh! Jason Roy just tells me to shut up. A 6. Keep talking.
Yeah, I think if he hadn't scored any runs this tournament, then they probably would sack him. But just because he's got runs, I think they'll hang on to him. Cummins, I think it's a huge burden to give him the captaincy. He has a huge role to play in the Test side of all formats. So yeah, I think they'll stick with Finch as captain.
Okay.
Don Antonio. Roy is garbage? Listen, it stems to fantasy, okay? Fantasy rules the universe. And when it comes to fantasy, whenever I choose him, yes, he is garbage.
Oh, you know what? I want to see some sledging from the Australian bowlers.
That would be nice, right? You might as well. They're going to lose the match.
Get them sledging.
There's have you ever seen the movie Major League? Either of you guys? It's a baseball movie, so you probably haven't.
No.
It's one of the classic comedies of American culture, for crying out loud. And there's a game where the team that the movie's about is losing 9-0. In baseball, that's a bad loss, like in the 6th inning. So the pitcher beams one of the batters. And the commentator says, it's about time. It's 9-0. That's kind of Australia's little thought process here with sledging, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's not looking good.
Asjad says he's driving. He's stuck in traffic. Hopefully he can make it back in time for the end of the match. England is winning this. It's over, he says. Wow. I think that's a little too early, but I appreciate that. We got a super chat here from Gary. Gary, I loved you in SpongeBob. Says Australia just lost a series in Bangladesh. Don't be sure. They lost a series in Bangladesh?
They did, but the pitches are horrible on those matches. It was...
Yeah, they played on some terrible wickets there, and Australia took the same thing as well. I wouldn't read too much into
that. Well, I mean, obviously, because Bangladesh, a lot of people were excited about them. They're struggling right now. I don't think they have much of a chance. Let's see. John Weir. Yes, the one with Charlie Sheen. That's the Major League. But, RJ, you were asking Jehan a question. Jehan, did you get a chance to finish that?
Oh, it's just about the whether Finch would keep the captaincy. I think he probably will now that he's been getting some runs.
Yeah, he's been scoring runs 2 matches in a row. I don't know if you can feel too excited about 44 off 48, but when everyone else goes down for way less than that,
That's the thing. He held the innings together when they were losing wickets at the other end. So,
About
yeah,
the Australian team, there's another thing, they don't really have a stable batting lineup. Like they don't really have players they can count on. Like sometimes they give performances, but often in the against a tough opponent, this kind of performance kind of getting repeating.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. You're not going to be winning too many games if you're losing 3 wickets in the power play, and those 3 wickets, were the best batsmen as well. That's been happening for a while. In that game against Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan opening bowlers, they bowled some rubbish early on. Warner and Finch just managed to get away after that. But if they're facing good bowling and they lose wickets up front, they're not going to win many games.
I really like
Osford in the chat. Sorry, Arjit. Yeah, Arford in the chat, he's very concerned for the Ashes this year, and he says that Goofy would do a better job coaching. That's a little Disneyland reference. Go ahead, Arjit.
I was saying I really like Stoinis, but he sometimes gives us this, hope that he can be that player for Australia who, either with bat or ball can produce those match-winning innings or match-winning performances. But he often fails, and I can see the potential in him to be that big player, but he often fails, and that kind of makes me. It's heartbreaking to see that way because I can see the potential in him.
Yeah, I think Stoinis probably needs to. He needs to be their finisher. So if he bats at 5, 6, or 7, he can come in towards the end of the innings and hit the boundaries and the big shots when they're needed. I think they're probably short of the batsman, like a proper batsman. Because if you have Glenn Maxwell coming in at 4 and Smith at 3, pretty much your recognised batsmen are just Finch, Warner, and Smith. So that's just 3. I think they're short of batsmen.
Because I remember the match where he scored like 140 something in an ODI match against New Zealand. Like all the other Australian batting lineup failed, and he single-handedly almost won the match from Australia. And it was, I guess, 5 or 6 years back. And since then, he really didn't. He's shown the glimpse of his potential, but he really
6 for Butler. Sorry, big shot. Keep going.
He hasn't pushed on from there, has he? I think part of that is they haven't really been sure what his role is. So he's batted down the order. He's batted at number 3. I think they even tried him as an opener, I think, before the 2019 World Cup.
Yeah, they did.
So he hasn't really had a defined role.
So Gabe just sent me a text message. He put on in the stream, check your phone. Look at this guy. He can't handle it right now. He wants to join us for a few minutes before he enters the gates of the happiest place on earth. We got Butler with the 6. Let me say this. For all the trash I give Roy, which I don't watch him that much. He's played a great opening innings with Butler right now. They have no need to take any risk whatsoever. Australia has all the pressure to get wickets. He's doing a great job with his shot selection. He's being a true opener here, so I'll give him a little bit of love there. And, as always, the Butler always does it. But Gabe should be joining us in just a few seconds. They're saying that Jehan is literally the dark horse right now. These puns. Can't make it up. It is 37 for nothing with 4 overs. Could you imagine if they got 3 wickets in 1 over? That would really change the complexity of this match. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, well, there was a hat trick in the last game. I don't know if you saw that or heard about it.
If there was a hat trick in a game, Jehan, I did not watch it because hat tricks hate me.
Okay. So one of the spinners got a hat trick.
All right, here we go. The loudest man in the room has just shown up.
Honestly, only Australia can ruin the happiest place on earth.
He's at Disneyland right now.
You gotta be kidding me. Unbelievable. Trash. JL, sack the whole team. Get rid of everyone. This has been the most miserable, absolute miserable World Cup ever. Just end it all. Oh my gosh, embarrassing. To England? Not like that, guys. Not like that. Jehan, stop it. I don't want to hear anything else about Australia. I'm so done. So done. West Indies, same thing. Gosh. Guys, I got to get back to my family because my wife's probably going to be pissed because I went live at Disney. That's right. Disney.
I love it.
Well, Gay probably is the only person in the Disneyland
But
who's not having a good
that's
time.
how bad it is.
Yes, he is.
Congratulations, every other team, because England is about to go and smash Australia. Just end my pain now. Gosh. It's
Later,
unbelievable.
game.
Unbelievable.
Don't worry, I'll still be trolling you while you're not here. He literally came on. He couldn't help himself. He can't help himself with the rant. He's got to let it out or he's going to burst or something. He just spent like $9 million to go to Disneyland, and he's miserable, and he joins the stream.
What I thought was quite funny about that is he said that this is the worst World Cup ever for Australia, and they actually haven't lost a game yet.
No, you can't make up the hyperbole. He can't help himself. You're so right. They'll still be in the top two. Jehan, you got to give him some Australia or maybe just cricket in general fan watching classes or something. We got a super chat here from Faizan. Thank you, Faizan. Gabe is right. Cancel all other games. Go straight to a Pakistan versus England final and give the winner the cup. LOL. Appreciate the super chat. I think those two teams are the heavy favorites. Obviously, at this point, at the mid stage of this tournament, the Super 12 stage. But don't be so sure that's what's going to happen, my friend. Don't be so sure. Is SPD a little injured there? Is SPD a little injured? Is he stretching his leg? He looks a little ginger.
Yeah, he does a bit, doesn't he? Maybe it's a right hamstring. Oh, Nick, I have a question for you, and it's a serious question. I'm not just, trying to wind you up.
Sure, okay.
Do you think India can beat New Zealand? Because that's going to be a key clash coming up, I think, in the next day.
I want to hear Arjit's answer first, and then I'll give my honest answer. Not at all depend on what he says.
Yeah.
Well, the answer is definitely yes. India can definitely beat New Zealand, but I think both teams have their strengths and weaknesses. Toss will be a major factor, which have in all the matches in UAE, toss played a bigger factor than any other performances from the team. So toss a lot will depend on the toss. But other than that, I think India can definitely beat New Zealand. India had a 7-day off, so they really did their thinking and did their homework and maybe sort out their issues, whichever they would be having after that Pakistan defeat. So my answer is yes, India can definitely defeat New Zealand.
I am not as optimistic as Arjit. Did you really just say it depends on the toss? Have you seen the India's record with tosses in the last 45 years? It's not looking too good, my friend.
But it's the last series of Virat Kohli. Maybe the god of tosses would be a little kinder to him this time.
He is the most due person of all time. Oh my gosh, when it comes to the toss. Listen, I'm nervous about the New Zealand match. Because unless New Zealand is just garbage this year in T20, which not every country can be great in all three formats all the time. I still have PTSD from the WTC, right? On how that worked out. It's not like New Zealand beat the bricks off of India, but they beat them. India was not able to step up to that big match. They didn't even show up. They still haven't shown up for that Pakistan match. I don't know who those guys were that showed up against Pakistan.
But
that wasn't Team
you
India.
got to see that in the Test Championship final, India was playing straight after having time spent in the quarantine. They didn't really even practice in the England pitches. Have they got a practice match? Then I 100% believe that they would have defeated New Zealand. But I'm not making an excuse. But this is a very legitimate reason.
Yeah, they didn't look prepared for that match, did they?
No, not at all. But in my short time, I've seen a lot of times when it's that big match. And yes, I'm putting a lot of IPL in that too with Kohli. And I'm not blaming Kohli because Kohli was the best performer in the last match for India. But the team as a whole has like a different they're lacking in energy or whatever. They need to win against New Zealand. Do I think they will? I don't. But maybe I'm just really, really nervous. I don't have as much confidence as I wish I did. But they need to have it because I completely believe they're going to win the other 3 matches. Probably without any problem, unless there's a complete collapse. They need this match so they can assure themselves into the knockout stage. And it's a team like England, a team like Pakistan. You don't want to see those teams when you get to the knockout stage. But I'm completely concerned. Everyone I'm talking to, Jehan, whether they're a fan of India or not, they all think that India is going to win New Zealand. That makes me more nervous about it.
Oh, what a shot!
I think on paper
But-
they're a better side than New Zealand.
Well, yeah, on paper they look beautiful.
Oh wow, that's huge.
Ooh, the Butler did it. There's a 6 right there. Wow.
I wouldn't
I'm a
say
little-
that India have to beat just New Zealand to get through this tour because yesterday Afghanistan looked really, a tough team to beat as well.
I agree, but who do you think is more difficult, New Zealand or Afghanistan?
I think both of them because Afghanistan is a very strong team for these kind of conditions. They got the spinners for UAE pitches. I wouldn't take Afghanistan lightly as well. I think they are as tough as New Zealand going to be. Oh, another one.
Cricket and Bollywood agrees with you. Nice. Yeah, the bowling's not too great right now. Oh! Oh, man. I'm seeing double. Oh, Butler. Thank you for being my captain. Thank you so much. Back-to-back 6s. Oh, I can see, even in the dark, I can see the shadows of Jehan's face. He's crumbling right now. He's absolutely crumbling. As soon as this stream's over, he's going to go to sleep. He's going to go to work. As soon as he gets home, he's going to become Detective Jehan, and he's going to really get Nick. I'm sure I've said tons of stupid stuff. Next time he sees me, he's going to let me have it. But right now, I'm enjoying it, my friend. I am enjoying the misery.
Well, I'd rather they lose against them before it's a knockout game.
Absolutely. 61? The power play's not. I didn't know you can score 61 in the power play. Wow, that's crazy. Look at Stark's number, right? It says 56. I think it really says 5 or 6. When am I going to give up this ball? You can't really give up a 5. That would be difficult. I guess you can if you're Ben Stokes. But man alive.
You know, the one thing that frustrates me about when Australia are in the field, and they didn't start off too well against Sri Lanka the other day either. They were getting smashed around initially. It was only Adam Zampa that pulled it back in the middle.
Yeah.
Was that, yeah? No, what I was going to say is what frustrates me is as good as these bowlers are, Stark, Hazelwood and Cummins, they're test match quality bowlers. So they're real quality bowlers. But it doesn't seem to me like when they come into bowl that they've got any kind of plans against the batsmen. Now, when you watched England today, how many times was Morgan coming up to the bowlers and discussing fields and stuff? So I think they do a lot more planning when it comes to what sort of plans they're going to try and execute against the batsmen.
What do you think the culture is right now? I keep hearing from Gabe constantly, and you guys watch the videos, right? I mean, he takes up the volume. I keep hearing from Gabe that JL.
Yeah.
Do you think it's really that bad, Jehan, with JL and the locker room and the team chemistry?
Well, apparently all the players got together, obviously, like behind his back, to have a discussion about his role as coach. And
nice.
Yeah, basically it sounded like none of them really enjoy having him as coach.
Wow.
And that came out. And then after that, what they said was they were going to have some discussions with him, with the senior players and the captain. And they had some kind of discussion with the cricket board as well. And the end outcome of that discussion was they were going to continue on with him, which to me, it doesn't make any sense to me because the players
No.
obviously, it seems like the players obviously don't want him, and they've struggled to deal with his moods and I think it sounds to me like they don't really want him as coach.
Yeah, that's very, very foolish. There's my Padres in baseball had an epic collapse this year, and the same situation. They fired their coach, but they didn't hire the guy that the players wanted. And I don't like it when organizations take the stance of we're not going to let the players tell us what to do. Well, they're the ones playing on the field, for crying out loud. They're the ones that are going to be the difference between a win and a loss. I'm not saying let them run the team, but if you have an entire, and you can tell, maybe not, this is not the best example, but they don't really look like they have too much energy here. If the players are not in a happy situation, what makes you think they're going to give you their best on the field? It's just simple, morale and whatnot. So I don't understand that either, but sometimes people double down for silly reasons. Who knows? Maybe JL's got a few World Cups in him still, but doesn't look too good.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, why is he coach of the T20 side?
Yeah, that too.
He's never really had much experience when it comes to T20. He coached the Perth Scorchers for a bit, but he's even said that he's not a fan of the format. So why is he coach of this team?
I'm sorry. I don't get this comment, so maybe you guys can help me out. It sounds funny. They want someone to blame when they don't do well. JL for Australia, Virat for India, and Biryani for Pakistan. Why would they blame the Biryani?
Because they eat too much and they forget about their fitness levels, probably.
It's the
The
Biryani.
thing is with that comment is like the last time when Pakistan lost against India. So this this fan got crazy and he was blaming the players for eating burgers and biryanis before the match, which made their performances worse. So
That
that
looks
was,
out.
I think, the joke was about.
That looks out.
That does
Okay.
look
I
out.
think it might had glove on it.
Oh yeah, maybe it hit the glove.
It looks like it's coming underneath the glove, but maybe at the very end there because that glove is all up in there. They didn't review it, huh?
They did.
I would like to see Shane Warne as Australian
Okay.
coach. I think he would do a wonderful job as a coach.
Yeah, he would. I mean, he did a good job with the Rajasthan Royals, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's hit the glove.
Ooh. But is that the front part of the pad that Ultra Edge is picking up? It's probably not enough to give it
Close.
out. That is crazy. That's going to be my strategy. If I'm ever a batsman, that's my strategy. If it's close to LBW, I'm putting my hand all around it. Where do I think it's going to land? I'm going to have my hand be around it. Oh, they
it's
called a
not good.
wicket.
They're giving it out. Yeah, they didn't think they hit the glove.
Wow. Adam Zampa, I was just going to say, why'd you cut your hair? You got all your power in your hair. He still gets the wicket. Jason Roy is garbage. I had to do it.
22 of 20. That's pretty good.
But this is too late.
It's not bad.
So if England top the group, they're probably going to end up playing. Who will it be? It will be either India or New Zealand, probably in the semi-final,
Or possibly Afghanistan, right? If they get in there.
if they get in. Yeah.
But yeah, more than likely, probably India. Let's say India.
That would be a good game, I think, for a semi-final.
That would be stressful for me, but a great game. Arjun, I want to know, and then I want to hear from, I think I already know Jehan's answer. It's got to be obvious. Arjun, which cricket, and I know you have love for everybody. You're a loving guy. Which cricket country, club, whatever you want to call it, do you dislike the most? And maybe
I
not
dislike
for
them
like
all.
the typical reasons, but because like they always beat your squad and you're just so sick of it.
Sri Lanka.
Oh, nice. Why is
Because
that?
I will tell you, the very first match I saw was India versus Sri Lanka semi-final 1996 World Cup. I was 8-year-old. I didn't know anything about cricket. I just saw like one guy was crying very hard. And I was wondering like why he's crying. The name of the guy is Vinod Kambli, and my father said like they just lost the match. I was like, what's the big deal? They will win another game, but I didn't know it was a semi-final of the World Cup. And Sri Lanka also was the reason why India got kicked out from the 2007 50 over World Cup. It was a must-win game for India. Rahul Dravid was the captain, and India lost the game. Sri Lanka defeated them. So Sri Lanka is always the reason when India gets kicked off of World Cup. Many times.
That's the kind of answer I wanted to hear because, I mean, obviously, as an India fan, everyone's going to say, oh, Pakistan. But that's the answer I want to hear. There's those teams that just you can't stand because they always beat your squad at the most important times. Jehan, I'm assuming it's
No,
England. Let me
I
know if
love
I'm wrong.
Pakistan team.
So the thing for me is when I was growing up, Australia never lost to England. They won every single Ashes series. They pretty much beat them in all the one-day series. So I never really saw them losing to England until England won that series in 2005. And then in terms of Test cricket, ever since then, England have generally beaten Australia at home. They've been close series, but England have always come out on top. And then whenever England have toured Australia, they've still continued to get smashed when they come down here. So it is a little bit frustrating when I'd watch an Ashes series in England wanting Australia to win, and they push them hard but always come out on the losing side. The last Ashes series in England, they should have won it really, but it ended up being a drawn series, so they retained the Ashes. But I think in recent times, probably the side that annoys me the most, because they've beaten Australia a few times now, a couple of times in Australia as well, which they hadn't done for 70 years before that, is India. So, and throughout the 2000s, India were always competitive against Australia. They were probably the one side that pushed Australia the most, I reckon. But they still can beat them. And then in the last 5 years, they've started to beat Australia now as well, and away from home also.
Love it. What were you saying there, Arjun, about Pakistan?
No, I was just saying like I always love Pakistan team. Like I think they always had very good cricketers, very street smart cricketer. And nowadays when Pakistan team was on decline, I was not happy because for cricket it's not good. Like international cricket needs a good Pakistan team. Like international cricket already has a very limited amount of good teams. And I want cricket to prosper. I want cricket to become the number one game in the world, to take over football. I want at least 50 teams playing World Cup. Out of 50 teams, I want 12 teams to at least be the contender to win the World Cup, which is not happening. Only 10 teams, plays. Only I think 5 or 6 teams playing test matches. So that's not good for cricket in the long term. And I want more good teams to come, be more competitive. And I generally think like cricket is a better game than football. And but it's not getting that kind of coverage on the world level. I think half the population doesn't even know about cricket.
Absolutely. I always knew about it, even here in America, but never really watched it too much. Obviously, that was a nice ball from start. Didn't get the wicket, but that was a nice dot.
For me, the teams are the most exciting to watch when they're playing well, and when they're at their best. It's probably Pakistan, West Indies when they're playing at their best, and for me, Australia when they're playing at their best.
Yeah, it's always good to have that competition. There's a boundary right there from Milan. He's on the board. You got to have competition. You got to have parity. You got to have those higher stakes. And I agree, Arj. I don't think a lot of people know about cricket too well. I do think a lot of, and this is just my American bias, I do think people know of the sport to a certain degree. But it's one of those things. Someone asked me in the chat, they ask me all the time, do you think America can embrace cricket? You think cricket can get big in America? And my answer is not overnight. It's going to take a long time, and you've got to take a serious push. But you're right. If you can have 12 to 15 seriously contending cricketing nations like you have in football, right, all across the world, that would be exciting. it makes you wonder though, because the more and more you have these limited number of teams, they're just going to get better and better and more advanced in the sport. Anyone that wants to come in, they're really not going to have a chance. But that's kind of what was exciting about the group stage. You have teams like Oman, you had Namibia, you had Papua New Guinea, you had I can't remember the other few teams, that Scotland and whatnot, that I didn't really know had a chance to get to a World Cup, fighting for that chance. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I don't know how it will sound to the other people, but I think India has a really good amount of people who can play really good cricket, but would not get chance in the international level or even on the IPL level as well. The other nations should consider giving them citizenships and playing them
Yeah.
for the national teams. I think this would be good for the players as well as for the nations as well. And I think the only way cricket can get popular overnight if the T20 gets included in the Olympics. I think then the nations like China and US, even Russia would consider, making cricket more serious in their country.
Don't they have some kind of American T20 league going on? I haven't really.
Yeah, I haven't. They had minor league cricket going on,
Right.
but there was something else that was going to happen, but it got postponed. I don't know too much about it. Another another boundary for Butler. 82 for 1 after 8 overs. They didn't get to 100. Was that Tom Curran I saw? How dare they show Tom Curran? Nice hair though. 82 for 1, and this looks pretty much done, my friends.
Yeah. I think a pass score on this wicket was 170 minimum.
Wow.
Nick, do you think sorry, yeah.
What's that?
No, I was asking actually, Nick, do you think like the baseball players who don't really get the chance into the baseball team, do you think they can convert into a good cricket player?
I think they have a better chance than like an NFL player or than a football player or than a basketball player. But it's tough though. Someone had the comment that U.S. doesn't need cricket, and that's such a pompous statement, but it's also true, right? Can a baseball player convert to cricket? Absolutely, but it would have to be the right kind of player. It would have to be a player that has the passion for just sports in general, a player that didn't get a chance to get into the major leagues because they were stuck in the minor leagues. They're 27, 28, so they still have enough skill and athleticism to convert to a different sport, and you'd have to have that reason for that to happen. But yes, you have a pocket of those players who will be super, super athletic and still have talent that they can transfer into a game, but you've got to have that push. And I think you're right about the Olympics. Imagine if the T20 got into the Olympics, and imagine, this is what I would do if I was the ICC. I would give automatic bids to those countries that have cricket teams like America, which I think majority of the players on the cricketing team for America, there's another 6 right there. Jeez. Destroyed that one, Butler. Thank you so much. There's your half century right there. My captain. I consider making you my triple player. I should have done that. But they should give automatic bids to those countries that have cricketing teams that aren't very good. Why? So that they can get spanked in the Olympics. Because then the citizens of their country are going to sit there not like being spanked, and they're going to say, what's with our cricket team? How can we suck? How can we improve that? And then you build that fire to want to put money, want to put resources, want to get these players that are dying in the minor leagues. I honestly think that's the best way you get cricket fever in countries that don't have it. Watch your team get the bricks beat off of them on national television. That will change a lot of things.
I wholeheartedly believe that cricket is a kind of game where you don't really need a lot of talent to succeed. You just need a willpower and a good brain. Because if you see, like Kapil Dev made a very famous statement, like all the talented players from India which I've seen does not have a very great cricketing career, but the players who have the willpower and the right attitude to play the game had a long career. For example, he gave the example of L. Ramakrishnan, who said Kapil Dev said like he is the most talented guy I've ever seen in cricket, but just played 12 Test matches. On the other hand, Ravi Shastri didn't have any talent whatsoever and still like played a long career for India. And that's what I believe, because you often see in the Test matches when the top order fails, the tail ender, which doesn't really have that much talent with the bat, scores the majority of the runs. And at the same time, the part when the major bowlers are not working
Jeez.
out, the part must sometimes get the breakthrough and whatnot.
Nice stop by Warner, but man, did Butler really reach for that one. Jesus, guy's in some kind of scoring streak right now. But yeah, you're right. That willpower overtakes the talent sometimes.
If you compare this batting to how Australia batted, it's like chalk and cheese. But my cousin, who's an England supporter, texted me earlier saying, "We're Australia playing Test cricket today." I couldn't agree with that.
England's got a good squad. It's as simple as that. There's enough. Man, Butler, he's out of control. He just hit Zampa for, I can't count that quickly, 13? No, 15? He'd only given up 2 his previous over. Man, 97 for 1 after 9 overs. This is a completely different looking squad than we saw. Sorry, Renee, I'm going to say it again. The West Indies game. And for England, they have a really good squad. They were one of the favorites coming in, and they're showing that they're one of the favorites. Pakistan is playing above what the experts had them ranked at. England's playing right where they're supposed to be playing, and they're a dangerous team. But in T20, the scariest format, in my opinion, anything could happen. But right now, they're on some kind of streak. And I think, have they played their toughest opponent so far? I think they have. I think they still have, I can't remember who's in their stage right there. They still have South Africa and Sri Lanka, right? Anyways. Yeah. Wow.
They won't be easy games for England. They'll be competitive.
Hopefully, yeah.
Was the South Africa Sri Lanka game was a pretty good game? Oh, that's it.
Oh, it was. I didn't expect South Africa to win that match when they did 18 runs in the last over.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to win either.
There's a wicket. Milan is down.
Oh.
I thought it was going to be a typical South African choke. And it was looking that way until the last over, actually. Until David.
Yeah, and if India doesn't win this World Cup, I would love to see South Africa win the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Wow. So they lost 2 wickets in the 19th over, and then the 20th over. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold on. I'm looking at Sri Lanka's. Here we go. They got a 4 to win it in the second to last ball. 6-6-6 in the 19th and 20th overs. So they had to score a lot of runs to chase that down. Wow.
Yeah. It was really looking like Sri Lanka were going to win that in the last 10 overs of that chase.
Human, like that name. Gabe is not joining. He's in California right now on vacation. He joined for like a quick second just to cry, which made me happy. Everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. We got my man Asjad. We got Jehan in the chat helping me out, try to hold this down as this match is, it's still going, but it's pretty much done. We're just enjoying having a conversation about cricket. Join in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts about this. Who do you got in the Final Four at this point? Does anyone not have India in the Final Four? What about you, Jehan? What do you think about India? Are they getting to the Final Four?
Yeah, I think it will be Pakistan, India, England, Australia. That's my Final Four.
You're still rocking with Australia. I love it. What about you, Asjad?
They only have to beat Bangladesh and they're in. So.
I think it would be India, Pakistan, England, and South Africa.
Ooh, that South Africa Australia matchup is going to be spicy.
Well, Australia have already beaten South Africa.
Oh, never mind. It's not going to be spicy. It was spicy. That was the first match. My bad.
Yeah. But when it comes to South Africa and ICC tournaments, they'll find some way of screwing it up.
Yeah, but a lot of things have changed. India never, Pakistan never defeated India in the World Cup, but that happened. So maybe this time it's South Africa.
Looks like Mirza agrees with you, Arjit. Looks like Renell agrees with you, Jehan, with the exception of New Zealand. She doesn't have England going? Renell, are you an England hater? They're going, my friend. They're in.
Well, you can't have Pakistan, India, and New Zealand. There's got to be 2 out of those 3.
Hey. He just said Pakistan never won until this time, so anything could happen. They can change the rules last minute.
Oh, Johnny Garbage Besto's in.
Oh, man. He's Australia's best chance.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Too bad he only counts for 1 wicket, though. Unless he can, like, trip Butler, who's in good form right now, and have him get run out and then lose his wicket.
I'll tell you what, there's only one team that could lose a game from the position England are in, and that would be South Africa.
Wow.
I've seen that happen before.
What has South Africa done to you, Jehan? Do they steal your lunch money or something? Do the entire country send like a diplomat to your house and slap you in the face?
No, they're entertaining. They're hilarious to watch in these tournaments because they always find a hilarious way of screwing it up and getting knocked out.
Renell has updated. There was a typo error. She's got England, Australia, Pakistan, New Zealand now.
England, not, yeah. Okay.
India not going. Ooh, the Stones.
No India.
India always perform well in the World Cup when they lose the first match. In the 2003 World Cup, I think India lost the first match against Australia, and then they made it to the finals.
Yes.
Arjit, I have never seen him not lose the first match. Okay, it's part of the course. They always lose the first match.
I think it's good that India lost the first match. It's a wake-up call. Now they will get really serious. I think they were a little overconfident at times. Winning both the practice matches, and even the body language gave me, that suggestion like they might be overconfident. But now that they've really woken up and they know what the competition will be in the upcoming stages, and I think it's good for the overall thing.
Sorry, there's a comment from Dovetail saying South Africa don't choke nowadays. They just send a really bad team, hence no choke.
But today is the proof. South Africa didn't choke today. They were out in the game, and
they say South Africa is the RCB of international matches. Whew. I remember a match that India lost the first one in. Right? It wasn't too long ago. Oh yeah, against Australia, baby. That worked out pretty well. Jehan, where's the hate meter at? I know you got my picture on a dartboard somewhere. I know it. You throw like a machete at it, though, and break your wall.
What's the lowest score that you've seen a team get bowled out for, Nick?
36.
That was from that series.
Hey, India loves getting bowled out 36 all out because then they show up the rest of the match. They were sending guys that were like previous janitors for the squad in there in that fourth match of the Gabba, and they were able to perform. They love it when their backs are against the wall.
Yeah, that's true. It was a good win.
But yeah, 36. That's what's crazy. That series, and that was one of the first test match series I've seen, right? One of the first. Every single match. That was a great series. You had 36 all out in one game, and then you had the bounce back. You had Virat Kohli out of there. You had everyone injured. I mean, and you got a 6 from Butler. I think that was Butler. There's no way Bairstow could have done that on the big stage. Yeah, that was Butler. Bradley Cooper with a 6.
Yeah.
105 for 2. I'm a little worried, though. I'm not going to lie. Because they need like 21 on 59 balls. I'm really worried about their chances. Wow. Butler went halfway down the pitch to get that one.
He's not worried about Zampa, is he?
Nope.
Yeah, there you go.
Adam Zampa was man of the match in the last match. I don't think he's going to get it this time. And look at that score right there. Okay, so Butler's got 70 off 30. 31. Look at Bairstow, 1 off 4. He's in midseason form. This is why we don't have any cricket players on our channel, because we just trash them so much, joking around, and they all hate us.
Oh, dear.
Now watch that run rate. Absolutely. All right, Arjit. Sorry, Jehan. Let me ask this question real quick. Arjit, what are the chances India's going to win the whole thing? I want to hear it.
I would say 45%.
Woo! 45%. I like those odds. Another 6.
See, I reckon it's going to be.
Still.
The semi-finals will be India against England and Pakistan against Australia. Now, I'm hoping Australia will find a way to try and beat Pakistan, but not happen. But if they do, I think India can beat England. So it might end up being an India-Australia final. That would be the perfect scenario for me.
That would. Vindication. Wow. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Dr. Jehan's the only man in the world that when Australia's going to go down 2-1, he still predicts them to win 5-0 in the Super 12 stage.
Well, you know what? I would rather Australia have Pakistan than India.
Oh, boy.
Jeez.
Because
Aristotle told me to shut up.
You can rely on Pakistan to have a horror game every now and then.
Oh, yeah. It's in any team can do it. And the worst thing possible, because only one team's going to win it all. There's really just about 4 or 5, maybe 6 decent teams in the Super 12. The rest are a bunch of pretenders. All but one are going to be able to have the best matches. So someone's going to have a bad match at some point in the knockout stage. It's just a matter of whatever. And, of course, I totally trashed Bairstow. He gets back-to-back 6s. Zampa, he's going for the record right now. And there's a dot. They need 8 off 55. I like their chances.
The problem with this tournament is that the toss is playing a way bigger role, in the result.
Yeah, it is. Today the new ball was doing a little bit for Chris Wokes because I left a bit of graph.
Yeah, and now I think it's the dew. Do you think, Mr. Jehan, that the dew is becoming a factor over here? That's why Zampa is getting, hit all over the park.
Well, the dew won't help the spinners for sure. Yeah, so it definitely is a factor.
You said that it was the new ball that helped Wokes out. It was Wokes that helped the new ball out. What's wrong with you? We got a super chat here from Gary. I know. Trust me, guys. I know. One team India would love in the finals, Australia. LOL. Ooh, Gary wants it. The people want it, Jehan.
Yeah, I think if Australia make it to the final, even if they lose, they'd be pretty happy with that. I definitely see them getting to the semis. Whether they can get through to the final, I'm not sure.
Listen, if it's India, Australia, both you guys are more than welcome to join us that day. We might have 9 people with us that day. Who knows?
Sorry, that was nearly out.
Oh, man. Australia loves to field. That's going to go all the way?
Oh.
Was there any bat involved on that?
I think so.
A sliver of bat, a little edge. Agar getting brutalized right now.
Yeah, it was Nick. Oh, but it fell short.
I want to ask Dr. Jehan, what happened to James Faulkner? I'm just not seeing him anymore.
I've been wondering about that for a while now, actually. He won the man of the match in the World Cup final in 2015. And ever since then, he's just gone off the ball and no one's picked him. Australia haven't picked him. He had some personal issues and stuff as well. I think when he was playing county cricket, he got done for drink driving. But yeah, he's just completely gone out of favour. I don't know why. Because he had a couple of good innings against India, didn't he?
Yeah, and also I think he's a really good death over for Australia with his slower one.
Yeah, he was a good player for them in that period when they won the World Cup in 2015.
That was nice by Butler. Wow. Or was that Bairstow? No, that was Butler.
Oh.
That was a little nice one. One more run to go. I know I'm behind everyone else. It was probably already over. But for me,
Way
one
too
run
easy for
off
England.
51 balls. They have 51 chances to get one run. And you have Bairstow. He'll mess it up. You have Bairstow up there. Not even he can mess it up. It's over, baby. It's over officially. And they almost did not have the kind of interest to even stop that boundary. Owen Morgan, once again, did a great job not batting. He didn't need to in this match. England, tell me they're not looking dangerous, right? Because Dr. Jehan already ordered his World Cup champs for Australia t-shirt before this match. And now England just decimated them. Ooh, England's looking good.
I don't think has England been pushed in any of these matches so far.
The most they were pushed was against the West Indies, but they had a huge, a small total to follow.
And they bowled them out for 55. So
yeah.
I don't know who can push them.
Wow.
I mean, they should beat. They've got South Africa coming up. They should beat South Africa. I wonder if they'll struggle against Sri Lanka. Because Sri Lanka got some good spinners.
You know, it's tough to go undefeated in any tournament. But if a team goes undefeated in a tournament with all these teams, wow, that's a huge statement. England wins the match. They turn Australia into USA cricket, for crying out loud. Not looking too pretty there. And I am so happy because I get to enjoy the screen with Dr. Jehan, the ultimate Australia fan. I'm just kidding. I like Australia cricket. I got to give Jehan a hard time. Arjit, my first question is, are you always this nice? My second question is, what are your thoughts about the match?
No, I'm not always this nice. I'm only this nice when I have to speak in English. So it's difficult to be not nice when
you haven't learned the bad words yet. Gabe will teach you.
Yeah, I will take some lessons from him. Anyway, about the match, I think it was a big disappointment because this was the match I was really looking for. The last match between Sri Lanka and South Africa was really exciting, but I was really excited for this match, and this match turned out to be such a disaster for cricket viewers. Totally one-sided match. England didn't give even a sniff to Australia whatsoever, and Australia really failed as a unit in this match. No one really showed any responsibility or even intent, for that matter, to win the match. So I think it will really hamper their confidence in the rest of the tournament.
Yeah. So I think they need 2 good wins against Bangladesh and the West Indies. Not narrow victories. They need to beat them well. And then if they can get some confidence from that, then maybe they can take that into the semis, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point, Arjit. When it comes down to it, we want to see good cricket, and this was really good cricket. Big match. Had to stream at least a good portion of it, which we did, but not exactly what you wanted. I can't believe they got 126 by the 9th over. That was insane. I mean, that's a statement right there. Josh Butler is an animal. If you had him on your fantasy squad, even though it was a low total chase, you did very, very well. But it's crazy, and it's more the same. It's Super 12 nothing. There's no Super 12 teams in T20 in the World Cup. There's a few really, really good teams, a few middle-of-the-road, above-average teams, and then a bunch of teams that have no chance. But these teams that are dominating right now are just making it look silly. And to Arjun's point earlier, it's not really great competition. So you got England on the top spot. They got a great net run rate. South Africa's got that 2 spot, my friend, because of net run rate. I don't understand this. Why don't they go by tiebreaker first? Why are they a slave to net run rate? You would think that if you have the same record as a different team, that tiebreaker would give you a better chances. But right now, South Africa's in that spot, Jehan.
So what do you mean by tiebreaker? You mean Australia would be number 2?
Like head-to-head matchups. Like if 2 teams are tied with the same record to get to that knockout stage, you'd think it would go to the head-to-head matchup. Who beat who?
Yeah.
No, but that would, they have to schedule another match, and that would be difficult with the the telecast and whatnot. Don't you think?
Yeah, but couldn't you still overcome a net run rate in one match conceivably, like that final match? Like, let's say they're tied the rest of the way, and then Australia gets a higher strike rate, but not until the fifth match, right? I'm not saying have them have a tiebreaker, Arjun. I'm saying whoever won in the head-to-head matchup, if they have the same record, they get the spot above the other team, is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is Australia should be 2 right now, South Africa 3, because Australia beat South Africa in their one matchup. But I know
Yeah, but
the
that's
ICC goes by net run rate.
no,
Yeah,
but in this way, you are only looking at the one match between both the team. But when you see the run rate, you're actually taking account all the matches they have played, so far in the group matches.
No, I get it. Maybe that's just what I'm used to with the domestic leagues here in America or whatever, but it's all good. I get the net run rate, but I just think like Australia's like, hey, we beat them, but I get it. They didn't beat them. They didn't beat the other teams as well as South Africa did. So,
well, I think that they've always used net run rate in these tournaments forever, but I think it's a little bit flawed when it comes to, for example, the England West Indies game where they bowled them out for 55. That like escalates their net run rate quite significantly just because they bowled the team out. So that gives them quite a significant advantage. I don't really think that's.
There's actually no.
Because in that match they'll take their West Indies net run rate as the 55 over the 20 overs because they got bowled out, not over the number of overs they actually batted.
So Jay asked a good question, or no, Skyra asked a good question. What about if you have three teams with the same points? So, and this is all coming from my background, but when you have 2 spots in that Super 12 Group A or whatever you want to call it, 2 spots available, and 3 teams are all tied with the same record, I would say the first thing should go to tiebreaker. Why? Because you want to know who are the 4 best teams. And if South Africa, Australia, and Team 3 are all tied with the same record, and you had South Africa and Australia, 2 of those teams, they played against each other and they beat each other, then you would say that Australia, as far as teams go, they're a better team than South Africa because they beat South Africa. That's my argument. But if you have 3 teams and you would need a second backup and a third tie, and that's where it gets kind of murky. In the NFL, there's like 55 tiebreakers. And so some of those tiebreakers are ridiculous and are stupid. So I get it. Net run rate is nice and clean. It's nice and easy. It's just a combination of all 5 matches. This is how you did. The crazy thing, though, is in one match, you can really mess up your net run rate, right? And I get it. You played against a team. Australia, before this match, had a net run rate of 0.7. Now they're in the negative after one match because they got chased the 9th over. I'm not saying it's unfair. I'm just saying if it comes down to 2 teams, those 2 teams as a tie, and you want to know who is the better of those 2 teams, well, they played each other, and one team came on top. That's my whole point. But I mean, I'm not challenging the system. It's fine.
I don't think it's going to come into it in this group. I don't think teams are going to end up on the same number of points, but we'll see.
Yeah.
What you are saying, it happened in 1999 World Cup between in the semifinals, Australia and South Africa. Their match got tied, but Australia had defeated South Africa in the early group stages matches, so they get through to the finals.
The match got tied?
Yeah,
semifinals.
They didn't have a tiebreaker?
No,
South Africa and Australia.
They didn't have a tiebreaker in a semifinal match?
it was the most bizarre match. Like, I still remember the feelings. Like, it was a great match. They just needed a single run in 4 balls, and they got just 1 wicket left. South Africa. Lance Klusener was batting beautifully, and he struck. And Lance Klusener ran, and Alan Donald just stand there looking at the ball and didn't run, and got run out.
They needed 9 off the last over. Klusener hit the first 2 balls for 4, so then they just needed the 1 more run to get over the line, and they messed it up in a hilarious way.
That's where the choker tags came for South Africa after that match.
Yeah, and in the World Cup after that, they got knocked out on a tie as well because they didn't know what score they were supposed to chase. That was against Sri Lanka. That was pretty funny as well.
What was it? Wasn't it India, Pakistan at one World Cup where they had the, or maybe I'm thinking of something else. They had the bowl out as a
Yeah, it was
tiebreaker.
2007 T20 World Cup in the group stages. It was the first match of India
Okay.
on Pakistan, and the match got tied, and they had to bowl out. Where three Indian bowlers did knocked out the wickets, and none of the Pakistan bowlers could knock out the wickets.
Wow. So I guess if every team played against every team, but no, I mean, in semis, you could have Group A versus Group B, so not every team had that tiebreaker. That's interesting that they didn't have a tiebreaker at that time. And I personally don't like the bowl out. I think that's kind of a silly tiebreaker, personally. I like Super Over, especially for T20, but that's crazy. Wow. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me today. I really, really do. It makes it much more interesting. I appreciate you guys' time. Jehan, I'm going to let you get some sleep because I'm such a nice guy. You got to work tomorrow. You need to have your focus and attention for what you do. Asjad, thank you so much. You're a very busy man with all the four-legged creatures walking around. You have a house with like 85 legs right now in your house. So,
Yeah, I do.
good luck there. Appreciate you guys coming on. Everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe. And, guys, do me a favor, say goodbye, and then I'll see you guys all later.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
bye, everybody. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. TFA Nation, you're the best. Asjad, Jehan, have a good day.
See ya.
You too.
Later, everyone.